Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacqueline. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacqueline at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. Welcome to the Wild at Heart Show, a show for man, by man, about man. Wild at Heart. Real, authentic, and uncut. Real guys talking about man's topic for man. My name is Roland. I'm the moderator and host of the show, and I welcome you actually to the 6th episode already. And what we're doing today, the topic today is we're gonna continue our conversation that we started already at the previous show. It's about how does our relationship to our dad impact our masculinity. And as always, I'm not alone. I have a panel of fantastic men from different places all over the world, from different backgrounds. So let's bring them in. I welcome my dear friend from Germany, Christian.
Hi guys, back again with this wonderful topic. I'm really looking forward to this one. Hi Roland.
Me too. Hi Christian, great to have you back. Yeah, then I welcome Mounir from Egypt.
Hello Roland, hello Christian, how are you guys? Really missing you since last week.
Yeah, me too, thank you. Good to have you back here. Hello to Cairo. And the next guy, I'm also very looking forward. Let's bring it on stage, Ezra, Mexican guy from Mallorca. Hi, buenos tardes, buenos dias, Ezra. You're unmuted, so unmute your microphones so the world can hear you.
Oh my goodness!
Hi, brother.
Thank you, Roland. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all well and very happy.
Absolutely, we are. Good to have you back. And last but not least, because Big Scott is off, MARCIN is off today, they have it off. But last but not least, let's welcome also from Egypt, my dear friend Hazem.
Hello. Hi, Roland.
Hi, Hazem.
Yeah, it's nice to be here again, and this wonderful topic about Daddy Guru. I call him my
Daddy
mobile
Guru.
Yeah.
Daddy Guru, Daddy issues. Yes. So, gentlemen and ladies, if ladies are listening too, I guess you can also learn a lot from a men's group. But actually, men need men to talk. And as I already mentioned in the beginning, we continue for our last conversation. If you missed the last show, please go to the recordings. For example, you will find it on YouTube. Just put in USA Global TV and Wild at Heart, and then you will find the previous show and the other shows, of course, too. So, gentlemen, don't lose any time. Let's get started in. I know Christian wants to add something because he loves this topic. Christian.
Yeah, well, I had a lot of time this week to think about this topic and how my dad kind of left his footprint in my history and how I am dealing with it. And the thing I found out in observing other people is like they know very well what they don't want to be like in terms of what their father was, and they're picking out certain points of that, of behavior and stuff like that, and they go, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. So, but they don't really have a clue what or how they want to be. So this is one of the things that came up to my mind a few years ago, and now again, because it's an ongoing process. Like, what kind of man do I want to be? Except of in what ways I don't want to be like my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Ezra, you want to add something?
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that, because for many years I resisted the way my father, or the way I thought my father was, the way I perceived him due to other people's comments, especially my mother's comments, and the way that I didn't want to be. But I realized that I was simply answering to, or allowing myself to be directed by constructions, by thoughts, by mind constructs. And lately I've been trying to, or not trying, because this is nothing that you try. This is something that you allow yourself to find out who you really are, what I really like, what I would really like to be, how I feel good, how I feel happy in a sense with myself. So yeah, definitely, this is a topic we first find out. We first, as young men or as young children, we are driven by how we were taught, to be or to act and to perform as men. And then as we grow up, we find out the things that we don't like about that, and we don't like about our parents or our father. And I guess as we age, we begin to understand that it's time for us to understand ourselves and to rediscover ourselves. And that's like I'm there. Yeah.
Absolutely. I can relate to this, man. I remember I mentioned the last show, so my dad was there but not present. Yeah, he was overwhelmed with his job and what he was doing. So he was absolutely, I guess, totally overwhelmed, like my mom too. And well, actually, when I think back, I never had a thinking like I don't want to be like my dad. I don't want to like this. I never had this. I had a clear direction of what I want to become and what I want to be. But what really triggered me is when somebody said to me, especially when my mom said it to me, but somebody else said to me, "You're like your dad. You're speaking like your dad. You're acting like your dad. You're thinking like your dad." And I said, "Oh, this really triggered me." And I was so pissed off. And the older I became, I realized, yeah, sometimes I really act, think, and speak or behave like my dad, or I'm quite similar to it. And it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Yeah, that's what I want to mention. Mounir, what's your thoughts about it? Or Christian, you want to jump in before we take Mounir?
No, please leave it to Mounir.
Mounir,
Yeah.
jump in.
Well. In fact, it's for me it was a mix of both. So when we are in this kind of childhood phases, we are men are always trying to see how the mom thinks and feel, because we want to protect her, we want to make her happy. It's part of who we are. It's genetics, it's God creation. So that's normal process. And then remember, when we were born, it's you feel like I'm part of this lady. I feel her heartbeats and so on. And it's a totally different relationship between the male and the mother. And then here it comes the father figure, and this is where we start to say, okay, I want to protect my mom from this kind of figure, and I want to understand the relationship. And this is how it evolved with us, trying to understand what pleases this woman and what does not please this woman. And this is what shapes what we think we should act like. So when she does not like something, we absolutely understand, and we say, okay, I'm not going to be doing this when I grow up, and I'm not going to be treating my wife this way when I grow up, and so on. And that's where you start trying to say, okay, I don't want to be this, or I want to be this, so that I can help my mother figure to live a better life. And this is really becomes hard, as you said, Roland, when you grow up and you start thinking that there are some genes inside. So you voice like your dad, you maybe look like him, and sometimes you think and do in some acts like him, and then you start to blame yourself. And no, I don't want to be like that. And this is something that all my life I was trying not to be like that. And this is when it starts to hurt, and this comes the conflict. But if we understand this kind of relationship from the start, and this is what we need to do for our children and generations to come, is that we try to find out what exactly, like Ezra was saying, like Christian was saying, please think of how you want to be, rather than what you don't want to be. How do you want to resemble your dad or not resemble? Just be yourself and start acting the way you feel that it is right. And what happened has happened. The past is past. The relationship between your mom and dad, you're not responsible for. And the relationship is, you cannot protect previous things because this has happened already. And you get rid of this and you start a clean sheet. This is what it makes it much, much more better for the generations to come to lose this kind of dilemma that we lived in.
Absolutely. That's a good point, Mounir. My question is: are we really differently and much better than our dads? Are we really better?
Oh, that's well. It's not. It's not. In some sense, I'll tell you why. And this is really good question because you try so hard not to do the things that he was doing, whether it is right or wrong. But the right or wrong was measured by the mom at that point of time. And this is where you get the measure. This is the figure, and this is the what to do, what not to do. So for me, for example, it was all related with how you make a priority of the family on myself. So they are the priority. They need to be fit first, went to a vacation first, have their education and so on. And my priority in the priority list with the family is maybe the 10th or the 15th, but they need to be first. And that was one of the major mistakes I've done in my first marriage. I was putting everyone, including my wife, as a priority, including my kids as a priority. And I'm only the figure who needs to work hard to bring a lot of money, to make them the life they want, to make the pool and the villa and the house and the cars. And then I don't go to the pool. I stayed with a house with a pool for 10 years. Remember how many times I went to the pool? Twice. 10 years. So I paid for them to enjoy, but I was not enjoying. I was trying to make money to spend on that. So that's wrong. So in that regard, Roland, I would say, no, I was not right. I was not better than my dad. I should have taken care of myself first, like he used to do. And that's what makes him take care of us as a family and raise us in the right manner.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I totally disagree with Mohamed.Mounir.
Yes, go ahead. Of course, that's why we're here to discuss.
Hazem, what's your point?
Because I know all Mounir's story. I think, Mounir, what you're doing is giving a better life or chances for your kids to live better. This is not bad. It's very good. Totally the opposite. Then no, I should only concentrate on myself and no. What you're doing is fine. All right. And maybe my father, as I told you, he's an orthopedic surgery professor, and he's very busy. And in the first 8 years in my childhood, I didn't see him because I moved with my mother to Dubai in United Arab Emirates, and he was working here in Egypt, in Cairo. Then we came back to Cairo. He's busy all day. I used to find the time in the weekend to go with him to the countryside, and I enjoy him. Really, I enjoy. He speaks a lot, and he's charismatic and gives lots of information about history. I said this before, and he builds trust with me. For example, when I tell him I want money, or give me my pocket money, he tell me, how much do you want? Just you say what do you want and you take it. It's not fixed like every week or every day you take this amount of money. And sometimes he tells me the money is in the drawer. Take whatever you want is sufficient for you. So he builds it bit by bit. along the years, yes, I miss, of course, that I don't have more time with him because of his clinic and the work and so on. But actually, my father is like Munir's father. He's like Munir now, not his father. He doesn't enjoy himself, or he doesn't do something for himself. He's just only working for the family. He doesn't go for a trip for himself, or go to a restaurant by himself, or have good time. Yani.
Yeah, I can relate to this because when I think about it, did I better or wrong? But actually, as I said, my father was never present. He was overwhelmed, but he was very mean too. He was a really misser. So actually, he spent money for himself for fancy vacations and clothes, but he was mean to the family, to my mom and to my brother, myself. So what I made differently is I said, okay, I always said I made this differently. I whatever I can afford, whatever money I can bring in, my kids should have everything they want. Yeah. When they want to do this, want to do this, they don't have to ask, to just get it. Because this was really upset me from my dad. He had the money, but he didn't give it to me. Yeah. He made a lot of money, but I never get pocket money for him. Never, ever. Never got it. I always had to work to get money. Was also good for me, of course, was also good education and training. But it would be nice sometimes to get money to meet friends and go to a cinema or a beer. I never could do this because he didn't give me, but he had it. Yeah? And that's I made differently. So I gave my kids money. They could travel, they could buy this, they could try this. But where I failed was I didn't give them quality time. Because to give them money, I was working and working and working, you know, and in this wheel, yeah, in this treadmill. So where I absolutely failed was on quality time. That was actually really regret now. That was my 3 boys. They're raised now and grown up, but they really give me as a feedback. Christian.
Yeah, I see this happening time to time in various families. That fathers are trying to do the right thing. They're trying to do things not like their fathers, or they're trying to do it better than their fathers. But the one thing that happens only in very, very few families is they go to their children and ask them, what do you want? What are you missing? And listen to them. Because I've seen that, especially with babies, a 10-month-old, you can see him, if you really pay attention to him, you're really connecting. And this is really what makes them grow, what makes their spirit grow and their heart grow. And no toy on earth can replace that. So I think it's very helpful to go to your kids, sons in that case, in our case, and ask them, hey, what do you want me to do for you? What can I do for you? What are you missing? What are you lacking? How can I be better? A better dad for you? Because I never had this question coming up on me. And this is like not putting my ideas over my son. It is like, okay, tell me, son, what do you want? What is it that makes you lucky? I love communication. Well, you know it, Roland.
Yeah.
And this is definitely
a good point.
would definitely help a lot if they can express on the way they want us to act, if they can express what exactly they think and feel. And this would be definitely amazing, because it's this kind of communication that will be raised not only with the kids, but also with the partner as well. What exactly, from my partner, what exactly do you want me? What do you like? What you don't like about me? And then the rest. And I would say it's always like the rebound, this kind of things. That's human being. You know, you get lost of that. You start thinking that, okay, this is my turn now to give it back, and so on. And some people would say, I've lost it. I didn't have it, so I wouldn't give it to my kids as well, because this is how I was raised. This is the only way I know how to be raised. It's all about and the balance and making things in the right perspective. And it's not like, you know, and I did not say that like I focus only on that and I forget about the family. or make the family first and then I forget about myself. Both needs to be working in harmony. And Roland, I've been traveling for 11 years. I would say, almost 95% of the year I was up in the air. And um, and I knew it exactly. I know everything about airports, where to go, where not to go, the lines, the guards, and everything. It's when you live at airports, this is how you treat. And even to the extent that I know when the hostess take the ticket and look at it and look at me and tell me where to go, it's not actually telling me where to go. She's just making sure that I am sober, I'm not nervous, I am not sick, so that she can take care of things instantly. The only thing that I did not understand and I did not obey in that was when they were giving the instruction and they said, okay, when the pressure of the cabin starts to be unbalanced, those things will come from the top. You need to help yourself first, breathe well, and then start helping others. And for more than 10 years, I was saying, I will never do that. If my son, an elder man, older women, or my kids are sitting beside me, I would definitely help them first. And I can bear. And this is, I never got the idea of, okay, I need to put myself as a priority in order to be able to do it. Until one day when I was sitting with my psychiatrist, and she was saying, who's bringing the other stuff? I mean, you need to go out, you need to take care of yourself, you need to dress well, you need to eat well, you need to sleep well, you need to travel, go out and have fun, and then ride the car, everything, do the things for you that will be able to bring them the next. But if you put them as a priority and you're not happy and you're
Mm.
not well and you're sick, you're not going to be able to provide the rest for the kids and for the family. And that's how it goes. It's just a matter of priorities and how to do it and how to balance it with the rest of the family.
Absolutely, absolutely. When we're not fit, when we're not clear, when we're not healthy, we cannot provide what they need. Absolutely. Guys, gentlemen, before we go to the commercial break, Ezra, I know you have kids too. Did you differently? Did you better than your dad? When you look back in retrospective, how you've been as a dad? Really better? Different?
Actually, in a sense, I've really, I have children. Yes, I've been a divorced man, separated from their mother. Uh, but what I've tried to do is with them is to allow them to be. Because I discovered as I aged that I was doing a lot of things for other people, you know, and this is like Christian said, is really good to communicate and ask the other to what he or she may need, and how he or she needs from me, and how maybe I should act or be. But at the end of the day, we need to find ourselves. At the end of the day, we need to be ourselves and weigh things out. So I discovered that I was responding to the way my father transmitted to me how I should be, and then I also, as I got older, when I got married and when I was beginning to be independent as a young or older man, adult man, I was I was answering to the what I was supposed to do in life. So how I should act, how I should be, and I've discovered that I really was not allowed to be. I was really not allowed to discover myself and to thrive in all sense of the world, in all my activities as a young boy, as a young man, as a professional, as a student, because I was answering to others, other dictates, other wishes, other people, whether that be my father, would be my wife in that moment, would that be the society, others. And I myself, I've tried to have in my relationship with my children, allow them to be, and always try to be more than a father, or at the same time a father, a friend with them, so that I don't want to impose myself to them how they should be, how they should act. So my children have slowly in their own time discovering what they're doing, how they're thriving, and there's different times of stages in life which as they grow, they discover, just like I did, because I had to live my life also on my own and very independent. Yeah.
Ezra, I have an additional question to you before we go to commercial break. If I would ask your children how to describe your dad, Ezra, what would they answer me?
Probably my daughters, they would probably say that I'm distant, because yeah, I was divorced from the mother, and were separated, and I had to. She denied she didn't allow me to see them, so I had really difficult time, and it was a long time since I was able to see them again and meet them. So there's a big gap in the relationship with them. So my children, especially my daughters, still have this chip on their shoulder because of this, and there's a lot of things there that limit our relationship. Yeah. So my approach to them has been, I try to be an open one. I'm there. I reach out to them, and I try to be a friend more than a father who directs them. At moments I try to be a guide. I try to give some tips, but I allow them to be. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that
Thank you,
answers your
Ezra.
question.
Thank you, Ezra, for your openness. Thank you. Okay, let's go for a short commercial break. We're shortly back, and then we continue our conversation, how our dad influences or has an impact on our masculinity. See you.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.
What you giving me is just not enough. I need a love to take me higher and higher and higher. Every step I take, I feel more awake. Getting closer now, I feel so alive. Stopping me, this is how I live. Ever closer now. Just follow love, and love will take you there.
have to spend an amount of time to get so deep into your own thinking and feeling structure of you as a man to really filter out what is from my dad and what is from other male role models. So I think it's in the end, it's a mixture of a lot of male role models and role situations where we as a growing up man, as a adult, we puzzling our gender picture of a man, of ourselves together. So we take parts of our dad, we take parts of, I don't know, anybody who we are looking up to. So the father role is a big part of it, I think, yes. But most of that happens unconscious, and the other parts are the smaller parts of it. And the unconscious part is a very interesting one, because when I look back, when I was 20 years old, how I saw my dad, and when I was 30 years old, how I saw my dad, it was a total change of how I saw my dad because of my own development. So this is, for me, this is a very good point, and I'm glad I come to this idea right now, because I'm going right now to be 50 more or less, and I will check that one again and how I see my dad right now. And one of the points I can really figure out is what he taught me by just being himself. He taught me not to judge. And this is something I really like. Even and especially as a man, not to judge, but first to observe and then to communicate.
Well, what is really different, very difficult, not to judge, really to observe and being objective. And Christian, I want to go deeper a little bit, because I know that some communication we had before in conversation that you did a lot of shadow work, you worked a lot of yourself. Can you give our audience and also the other chance here in the panel, give some tips how you do this work to filter out what's really from your dad, what's really was an influence? How are you doing this?
Me, the better you get to know yourself. This is like observing your own patterns, taking serious what other people are telling you, and asking yourself, is this true? Is it true only from their point of view, or is it true even on my point of view? And how do I want to deal with it? And something even, I don't know, it's exact the same importance or even more important. How does it feel to myself? How does my heart go in the same, I don't know, in the same frequency? Like, how does it resonance? Because then this is my truth speaking thing is most of the time not my brain, but my heart. So if this is swinging right, okay, then it's, for me, it's true. And shadow work, yes, it takes time, and it takes a good decision. You want to do it. You really have to be willing to look into that mirror and face yourself.
And did you do the shadow work and this reflection by yourself, or do you ask for help, or I don't know, a therapist or a coach or something?
Of course I did. You have your blind spots. You will never find everything. You will never see everything all on your own. This is when people tell me, yeah, I'm working so much on my own, and I go like, okay, what are you doing? Yeah, I do meditation. And I say, okay, this is a nice way, but to really face your blind spots, your black spots, your shadows, go see someone. This is the recommendation I have.
Okay.
Thank
you, Christian.
I've voted what Christian was saying, and it's you will never be able, if it's that easy. I mean, people will get it. Remember, it's definitely very hard for those blind spots, for the subconscious things, for being able to differentiate between the voices that you do have, your own voices or the voices of critical father, whether that was the real father or other male figure where they were putting something in the head, and deep down you hear those kind of voices telling you that you're not worth it, maybe you're not good enough, maybe you're not doing your best, maybe you're not spending your best, maybe you're not making enough money so that you're not a real man here, you're not earning that much, and so on. But how can you differentiate between those voices that are not yours, and the voices that really true, and it is coming from the situation, and it has a meaning to listen to them. It is difficult, Christian, and you definitely need to go and see some professional people, because it's really hard to differentiate between those voices.
Before I want to step to Ezra, because he's on meditation, I want to ask our audience, what's your point of view? Did you work on that issue? Please write in the comment, contact us, go to our websites. It's bonfiretalks.com, and there you can connect with us. You can write us an email. There's a contact form, but you also can connect directly to one of these gentlemen. Yeah, just pick up the photograph or the bio and connect directly to the gentleman. So let us know what's your point of view, what's your experience, how did your dad influence your masculinity, and did you get help from outside through a coach or whatever you did? So you're more than welcome to step in this conversation. Ezra, my dear friend, I know that you do a lot of meditation, a lot of practicing. What's your point of view? Is meditation alone enough, or has it its boundaries?
Oh no, meditation is one of the many tools of self-knowledge. The only difference, what makes meditation very useful is that you, in the stillness and quiet stance that one practices, because true meditation is silent and still, we are able to look into our mind. We're able to look clearly and see deeply into our mind and recognize, like we've mentioned, our own tendencies and also how they have developed. So meditation is one of many tools. Basically, I would say that the most important tool is living life. Living life will always confront us with our the so-called impurities of seeing, of purities of perceiving reality as it is, and the origin of our suffering. So, if we want to find out our which are our weak spots, we just need to look and find out where are we suffering, where are we not happy, where we're having trouble, and look deeply in the practice of meditation, because during the formal practice you are able to see clearly, but also you develop this awareness, this gap, this spaciousness, so that when you're in life, you practice meditation informally, and that's by being present with what everything is happening inside of you and outside of you. So meditation is a tool. It's like going to the gym, and it's in which we exercise a muscle of consciousness, of awareness. I don't know if that answers the question.
Thank you. I want to tell you guys and all of the audience one of my experience I had with a client, because I know that men normally don't go to a therapist, or maybe they hire a business coach to be better in business, or maybe they hire a sports coach or whatever. But most of them are going, or like myself, I guess, if you asked me 5 years ago, would you hire a therapist? I said, no, I don't need it. Right now I do it because I learn from it. But anyway, I want to tell you, I have a coaching client. Actually, we started business coaching. He's working for an international huge company. He's an executive manager. And I was hired by his boss and by the HR department to help him. He does an outstanding job. His markets, where he's responsible for these countries, are the best in the world, growing. The KPIs is amazing. Yeah, he's much better than average in the company. He's much better than average in the whole industry. But they hired me to say, okay, here's a problem in communication, stuff like that. So we did a lot of business coaching, and after a while, he told me, you know what, Roland, I found out I have to go away from this company. I don't feel comfortable. I work like crazy, but after 2 or 3 years, like in every time in my career, they hire me. They're very excited what I'm doing because he's really, really good what he's doing. And after 2 or 3 years, I get problems with my boss and they want to get rid of me. I have to go away from this company again. That's what, because I asked him, what's the inside of this coaching? And I said to him, stop, no. Because when you quit this job and you go to somewhere else, The problem is you bring yourself with you. You go to the new company with your same patterns. What I strongly believe is, and I said to him, hey, give his name. I said, hey, client, what is your relationship to your dad? Do you have a daddy issue? And it was a pause, and he said, yes. I always was looking, or had a craving for getting attention by my dad. Getting attention by my dad, being acknowledged, being loved by my dad through performance. And so what we now did after this, we did this business coaching, we now step into this and work on his daddy issue. What's the root cause of his behaving? I said, it doesn't make any sense to quit the job and start somewhere else because you will bring the same pattern. So it's a daddy issue. So gentlemen, that's why I'm saying to the audience, I know you're a man, I know you're brave, I know you don't want to show up weak. If you have some troubles in business or in life, maybe you have a daddy issue. Maybe it's something different, but this topic is daddy issue. Have a look at it. And please don't be too cool. You really need to be brave. You really need balls and her heart. Ask for help from outside. Really, ask for help. I can highly recommend this. Gentlemen, we're coming close to an end. I would love to ask every one of you 1-2 sentences to this topic that you can give an advice to our audience, whatever you want to do. Just 1-2 sentences. Mounir, I start with you. I see you on the screen.
Yeah, well, what I would say here is that be cautious. Be conscious of what you're doing. So bring something to understand where you are, what are the issues, what are the voices, and be present so that you can analyze what is happening. Once you understand yourself, you analyze the voices inside of you, I would definitely see that you're going to be acting in a different way and in a better way, different and better way.
Thank you. It was just one phrase more than two, but it was good. Thank you. Hazem, 2 phrases.
I think we are maybe a reflection of the behavior of our parents or our dads, but also the issue that you raised, that we all have problems, and maybe it's related to the behavior of daddy. So we have to make a check and seek help as well. So that's what I'm going to do. Thank you very much for.
Thank you, Ezra. Thank you, Hazem. Ezra, short comment at the end.
Yeah. Always strive to be yourself.
Quick and dirty. Thank you, Ezra. Christian.
Okay. The next time you talk to your dad, remember he's half the reason why you're here, and maybe you want to see him as a friend.
Thank you, Christian. Yeah, my last comment is, guys, it's never ever too late to have a conversation with your dad. He was still alive. If not, maybe you want to write him a letter or say something in a prayer or something like that. Start working on you. There's not much to say. There's a lot of stuff to do. Thank you very much for listening and joining us as USA Global TV and Radio. Next Wednesday, same time, same station, we're coming up with a new topic. And as I mentioned before, join us on bonfiretalks.com. If you want to have a topic to discuss, please, you're more than welcome to come back to us, and we're going to have a discussion on that. Thank you so much. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Have an amazing day. See you next Wednesday, guys. And bye-bye.
Hasta la vista.